Hi everyone, hope you're keeping safe and well. God, it's been ages, it feels like ages since I've done a little video for you all. I think it's no secret that leading up to my holiday I was on complete burnout, and I was just so tired that engaging was hard and social media was hard and bloody talking was hard because Seed was it just felt like we were on this constant uphill battle that every time I got somewhere I just got pushed off, and then it was just all too much. Anyway, not sympathy, I don't want that. It's just the realities of life sometimes. But also I was in been quite a tricky place personally as well. My confidence has been low, I don't know why. I've got ideas and I'm working through it in therapy, but there's just been a lot of stuff, as there is for all of us all the time. However, I've been on holiday, I've come back and I'm starting to make changes, and I'm making sure that I don't go back there again. But it did make me think about triggers and why our brains do what they do and why it's so important to talk about mental health. And looking back on my journey with an eating disorder, also because, you know, if you follow me for a while, you'll know that I bumped into Joyce on my first day on holiday, this much needed holiday where I wanted to get away from anything eating disorder related and Seed and all of it. And then the first day I'm on holiday, there's my night nurse from 28 years ago, who I've not seen for 28 years. But it was amazing because I got to thank Joyce for keeping me alive, because she did. But seeing her has brought up a lot of stuff. Bear with me, I know I feel like I'm rambling, but that stuff that is brought up has just made me go, God, I went through that. The most horrific, barbaric treatment from other human beings who I was in their care, who were meant to be looking after me, but also the most horrific and barbaric mental health illness. Like, an eating disorder is it can never be underestimated. And I think I wanted to do this video because anybody who is going through an eating disorder, I want you to know that how you're feeling is valid, because it's hard. And anybody who hasn't been through an eating disorder, I want you to understand why it's so important to help us change the narrative, change the conversation, dispel the stigma, and help us get more funding for better services and treatment for services like Seed and other eating disorder charities around the UK, who actually are giving hands-on support for the people, not the eating disorder. And by that I mean, when I first met Joyce and I was in that unit in Hull, it was a psychiatric unit. It wasn't specifically for people like me who had been diagnosed with anorexia, and it wasn't specifically for eating disorders. They had no idea what they were doing. And okay, this was 28 years ago, but the whole system was based around reward and punishment. And my care, I remember going from basically eating nothing to being sort of force-fed, which could have killed me. And it got me thinking about how, if I'd have had the right treatment at that point, early intervention being so key, I might not have lost 13 years of my life. And this isn't a woe is me story or tale. And just for the first time, 39 years old, really starting to look back after seeing Joyce and go, I know why I've been fighting for better eating disorder support, but I didn't realise the impact that had on my life. And more often than not, and it happens even now, and we get it with our seedlings, people are able to get help, but it's not the right kind of help. The treatment is barbaric, it's inhumane, and it's not everywhere. I'm not saying it's everywhere, but gosh, can you imagine if the government listened and the NHS started to sort of work more with us, where we could all develop a service and a referral pathway to be able to help these people with the right care, treating the person and not the eating disorder, which is what Seed is all about, which is why Mum and Dad, after seeing me go through what I did, seeing my family go through what we did, set up Seed to treat the person and not the eating disorder. One thing, it's really important, if you've not ever experienced an eating disorder, or you have a loved one who is going through the eating disorder and you can't wrap your head around it, and why would you? Like, why? What are the three fundamental things we need to live? We need to eat, we need to drink, and we need to sleep. Obviously we need to breathe, but like, those are the three fundamentals. So why would you choose to hurt yourself with one of those three fundamentals? Answer, it's not a choice. An eating disorder is a mental health illness. It's not about vanity, it's not about diets, it's not about food. It's about something that is going on up here for the person, and for each individual, hence why it's so complex. It's different. You know, for many people it's about control. Like, I couldn't control the bullies and what people were saying or doing to me, but I could control an element of what went inside me, and the abuse that I suffered throughout the years, and not just at the hands of the bullies, but God, stuff that I've never talked about, and maybe one day I will. But the smaller I was, the safer I felt. But then for somebody who is, you know, struggling with bulimia or binge eating disorder, it's very, very different to somebody who's got anorexia. Also with ARFID, avoidant restricted food intake disorder, no one size, pardon the pun, fits all. But what I can tell you is that that person who is struggling with an eating disorder is affected by it morning, noon, night, 24/7, 60 seconds in a minute, 60 minutes in an hour, every single day. Eating disorders have got the highest mortality rate of any other mental health illness, because 20% of those people will die either as a direct result of the eating disorder or by taking their own life, because it is constant and they can't do it anymore. You're not on your own. And if you are struggling at the moment, it is okay to feel angry. It is okay to feel done, defeated, down. But please don't give up, because there is hope. You know, recovery is possible. And look, I always talk about it. I am still on the recovery after recovery journey, but I'm here, I'm living, I'm well. I'm still working on all of that stuff. But you're not on your own. There is no stigma. We can normalise this conversation and we can get you the help that you need. But I can't run the service of Seed without people donating, fundraising, supporting. It's the biggest picture, but it's the most important picture, because it's 28 years later and still people are dying, and they shouldn't be. So what was that video about? It was to try and give you an understanding of the severity. It was to try and make you feel less alone. It was to try and let you know that Seed Eating Disorder Support Services are here for you. And it was to try and rally the troops and get support. And if you can donate to our 10 Trek Challenge, or you can support Seed in any way, we would be truly grateful. But aside from that, just know that you matter and that you can and will get better. You've just got to reach out and take that first step, which is scary, but you're not alone. Take care, lots of love.